side.
Good morning, America. Dangerous deep freeze. A new coastal storm moving in as more than 200 million Americans wake up in bitter cold. Schools across the Midwest and Northeast closing, and Niagara Falls freezing over as temperatures plunge and icy roads cause this massive pileup.
Travel nightmare. Overnight, a computer outage causes massive delays at airports all across the country, leading to giant lines during one of the biggest days of holiday travel.
Time's Up, the new movement, bringing hundreds of women together to fight sexual harassment, from Reese Witherspoon to Jennifer Lopez and Shonda Rhimes. How Hollywood's heavyweights are helping every woman, no matter their background or industry. Two of the founders join us live only on GMA.
And the Georgia Bulldogs on their way to their first championship game in decades after a thrilling double overtime Rose Bowl win. Deflected. Georgia bracing to face powerhouse Alabama, who will be crowned the champs of college football.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Happy New Year. Sure is a happy one for those Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh, especially Deb Roberts and Amy Robach. You know, they're big UGA fans, and they were, in fact, Deb was at the game last night. Amy's here, and she's going to be talking about that. But boy, it is cold outside.
Yeah, check out what happened here New Year's Eve. Million people here in Times Square. I do not know how they lasted in that cold. 10 degrees out there.
How they do it.
That's Times Square this morning.
They learn. They learn fast, George. There's no avoiding, though, that bone-chilling cold this morning as many head back to work. Take a look at these images. We're going to show you Niagara Falls frozen over. That's Niagara Falls. Of course, the cold is dangerous. It's relentless. The temperature is forcing schools across the Midwest and Northeast to close this morning. And Alex Perez is in icy Chicago for us this morning. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. This deep freeze has had a tight grip for several days now. Take a look. You can see the steam rising from Lake Michigan here. In this cold, it takes just a few minutes for it to become very dangerous.
The new year off to a brutally cold start. Sub-zero temps cold enough to freeze part of the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Delaware, and creating dangerous driving conditions. This vehicle crashing into icy waters in Connecticut. An Indianapolis woman rescued from the top of her car after it sank 10 feet into an icy pond.
Report of an SUV fully submerged.
She's now in critical condition. In Texas, a police officer slipping on a frozen highway, nearly hit by an oncoming car, and a whiteout in Michigan leading to this multi-car pileup. In St. Paul, Minnesota, 10 people rushed to the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning believed to be caused by a faulty boiler. The bitter cold conditions impossible for battling fires. In Nebraska, negative 10-degree temperatures instantly turning the spray into ice. Firefighters in D.C. forced to use flares to thaw their extension ladders.
So we want to show you just how cold it is outside. This is a hard-boiled egg. We left it out overnight, and now, well, check it out. This is a nail. I use this egg. You hear that? Almost like a hammer. That's how cold it is outside. Officials say if you don't have to spend any time outside right now, don't stay inside. Robin?
Goes for you, Alex, too. Wow, thank you. Ginger, this cold is not going away anytime soon, and there's another storm on the way?
Yes, and it's how prolonged the cold has been. So many of us sub-freezing or sub-zero in some spots since Christmas Day. Look how deep the cold goes. Midland, Texas, 18 this morning. Atlanta, 18, so all the way to the Gulf Coast. Louisiana, look at this frozen fountain. That gives you the picture of just how cold it is and how far this reaches. But yes, that next storm, Robin, starts tonight through tomorrow, and there are winter storm watches that begin in Florida, Lake City, Florida, all the way up the coast, Charleston and Wilmington included there. It's an ocean storm, but the proximity to how close it gets to the coast, that's going to depend and help you depend on how much snow you're going to end up getting. I can promise you wind, snow, and ice right there, coastal North and South Carolina, right through the mid-Atlantic Wednesday into Thursday. Again, eastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and of course parts of Connecticut going to pick up some of the heaviest snow totals, but we've got to watch this thing because every 10 miles is going to make a huge difference. Robin and George.
Boy, there's just no relief right there.
No.
We're going to move on now to that nationwide computer outage that's caused trouble at airports all across the country last night. Look at these lines, giant lines at customs right at the end of the holiday travel rush. And ABC's David Curley is at Dulles Airport with the latest. Good morning, David.
Morning, George. The latest wave of arrivals coming in right now from customs. Less than 12 hours ago at airports across the country, a rude welcoming to the new year for travelers when those customs computers went down and the lines and waits got long. The lines grew long from Miami to Seattle when those computers went down.
Angry, tired, frustrated.
Worst airport ever. Terrible.
Those customs kiosks not working, according to some passengers.
And nobody seems to know what's going on here.
Meaning all international travelers coming into the U.S., many returning home, had to get in line, thousands of them, and that's why those lines grew so long.
At the time we arrived, they said that for 2 hours the system was down, so hundreds of people were just waiting and waiting.
The 2-hour outage started at 7:30 last night. A Customs and Border Protection spokesperson saying officers had to use backup procedures to screen all those arriving from overseas. The outage coming on New Year's Day, a day with heightened security.
I will hope, being from the U.S., they will have a backup plan when something like that goes wrong.
In a statement, the agency says the officers were able to access national security databases and process travelers, quote, as quickly as possible, while maintaining the highest levels of security.
The frustrating thing was that nobody told us anything why we were waiting.
Customs and Border Protection says it has no reason to believe that something malicious caused its processing system to shut down. But this is not the first time this has happened. Customs and Border Protection has not told us whether last night's shutdown was related to the earlier ones. We're still waiting for word on that, George.
But thank goodness they were able to solve it. Okay, David, thanks very much.
All right, George, and turning now to that new threat from North Korea. Its leader sending a mixed New Year's message claiming he has a nuclear button on his desk with the entire U.S. in range, but also opening the door to dialogue with South Korea. Martha Raddatz is tracking the latest from Washington. And Martha, how is the U.S. responding this morning?
Well, good morning, Robin. President Trump, who has in the past talked of fire and fury, had an uncharacteristically muted response, saying simply, we'll see. But Trump is well aware of North Korea's nuclear capabilities, and while Kim Jong-un may not have an actual nuclear button sitting on his desk, North Korea's ability to hit the U.S. with a nuclear weapon increases every day. I spoke to the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Admiral Mike Mullen, on This Week, who said he believes we are closer to a nuclear war with North Korea than we have ever been, Robin.
And Kim also going on to say that they may talk with the South Korean delegation about possibly sending a team to the Olympics?
Exactly. And South Korea says this morning that by proposing high-level talks with North Korea next week, they're on the border. They're going to meet with them. They say they share that border. They talk about whether North Korea could be part of the Winter Olympics next month. South Korea has been uncomfortable with Donald Trump's fiery rhetoric and wants to ease tensions, but that could dilute Trump's message of force and his insistence that North Korea give up its nuclear program before any talks could be held. But, Robin, there is little doubt this will be President Trump's #1 foreign policy challenge this year.
Little doubt. All right, Martha,
Could be driving a wedge between the U.S. and South Korea. Also overseas, those deadly protests in Iran overnight, 6th straight day of violent clashes between security forces and anti-government protesters who have drawn support from President Trump. Our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, is tracking the latest from London. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. These are stunning developments in Iran, a nemesis of the U.S. for decades, a major sponsor of terrorism and unrest throughout the Middle East, now being rocked with the biggest protest there in almost a decade, and they're spreading. Overnight, 9 more were killed in clashes with police, according to Iranian state television. The death toll is now at least 20 since those protests began last Thursday. And on social media, we're seeing extraordinary scenes in this tightly controlled country, burning buildings and cars, broken windows, crowds refusing to disperse. These protests began with economic demands, but as they've spread to cities across that country, some of the streets are now calling for the downfall of the regime itself. And in response, a hard line. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, this morning accused, quote, enemies of Iran of fomenting the unrest, while President Trump, as you say, well, he's tweeted his support for these protests, declaring it is, quote, time for change in Iran.
Any sense of how serious a threat to the regime this is, Terry?
Well, the sense right now is that they are responding in such a hardline way. They're frightened. We are hearing, however, that while these protests are spreading geographically, they are not enormous. You aren't seeing hundreds of thousands or millions of people on the streets yet.
Okay, Terry Moran, thanks very much.
And George, President Trump is facing those tensions in North Korea and Iran as he prepares for the year ahead, returning to Washington last night and now setting the agenda for 2018. Our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, is there in Washington. And Cecilia, what's topping the president's to-do list?
Well, Robin, he's feeling good coming into 2018, fresh off that tax victory. At the end of the week, he'll be meeting with Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan to try and map out the year's legislative agenda. So right out of the gate, they want to tackle infrastructure. We're told the president is pushing for, at minimum, a $200 billion program to fix things like the nation's roads and airports. The president has called infrastructure the easiest of all to achieve. Also on this to-do list, welfare reform. The president wants to overhaul the welfare system. And of course, they've got this issue with DACA still, those undocumented immigrants who came to the country as young children. But Robin, all of this, as those midterms are right around the corner, Republicans really looking to keep their hold here in Washington.
Midterm, we're going to be here before we know it. Thank you, Cecilia.
Okay, let's get more on this now from our chief political analyst, Matthew Dowd. And Matthew, we heard some of the items on President Trump's agenda right there, but there's also so much unfinished business from last year, all the spending bills left over from last year, the children's health insurance program. They got the tax bill passed at the end of the year, put off a lot of tough decisions for January.
Yeah, they're absolutely. They have a whole bunch of things that need to get done, not only politically, but for the country as a whole. As we've seen in the news, the planes, trains, and automobiles problem of infrastructure in our country. But the difficulty the Republicans face is they're in a very bad year. It's akin to Jacksonville playing in the sun and then having to play up in Buffalo in the winter. They're moving into the winter in 2018. Their margin in the Senate as of tomorrow goes from 4 to 2, and there's a Democratic wave building in the course of 2018. So though the needs are great, the opportunities are few in an election year like the midterm with the Democrats doing well.
And it would suggest with just a one-vote margin now in the Senate, the only real option to get anything done is bipartisanship, but that is going to be so difficult given the stands that President Trump has taken, especially on that border wall.
I think there's a huge opportunity for the president to demonstrate like he did on the debt ceiling when he compromised with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, where his numbers actually went up. But the problem is the more he compromises, the more he makes Republicans vulnerable in their own primary. So it helps in a general election, but it hurts in a primary. And now the Democrats have no incentive with this wave, as I say, building, to not surf that wave and try to obstruct everything the president wants to do.
Challenging year ahead. Matt Dowd, thanks very much.
That it is, George. Now to the investigation into that vacation tragedy in Costa Rica. A charter plane crashing, killing all 12 people on board, including 2 American families. Federal investigators are on the scene this morning, and ABC's Gio Benitez is here with the latest. This is unbelievably tragic.
Unbelievable, Robin. Good morning to you. Sad when the families were on vacation, flying from a Costa Rican island to the capital of San Jose, before that plane crashed into a wooded area, leaving no survivors.
This morning, investigators search for clues on what caused the accident that took 10 American lives, including 2 families on vacation and a tour guide. Irene Steinberg was on vacation with her husband Bruce and 3 sons, William, Zachary, and Matthew. The close-knit family loved to travel the world together.
I have to tell you, the only comfort from talking to our other friends is that they were all together, and they will be together. They'll be together forever.
According to a witness, the plane was in the air about a minute after takeoff before it seemed to do a cartwheel, then a nosedive. Hannah Weiss was one of those victims, a sophomore at Columbia University, traveling with her parents and her 16-year-old brother. Her friend telling us she will be greatly missed.
Not having her in our lives is going to be just... It's unfathomable.
33-year-old Amanda Geisler was in her first year as a personal vacation travel leader for Backroads. Her family said in a statement that she lived her life with no regrets.
Oh my God.
The small plane crashing just minutes after takeoff on New Year's Eve. The cause still a mystery, but officials now say wind may have played a role. ABC News learning the aircraft was operated by the local airline Nature Air and was similar in size to this one. It's the largest carrier in Costa Rica and has a good safety record. The FAA finding that Costa Rica upholds strict safety standards, ones almost as high as the U.S. But experts warn to be cautious when flying with smaller carriers you're not familiar with, especially in foreign countries. And they say don't be afraid to cancel if anything appears unsafe, including ominous weather.
And the airline could not be reached for comment, but the touring company tells ABC News they're extremely heartbroken and they're working with the local authorities to understand the cause of the crash.
Everybody wants to know that. You know, when people on vacation, they want to take these types of flights. What are other things they can do to stay safe?
So experts told us that you need to look for these planes with multiple engines. You need to look for them with multiple pilots, and those pilots should be seasoned pilots with at least 2,000 hours, flight hours there in that area.
I'll have to look into that. All right, Gio, thank you.
Such a sad story. We're going to switch gears now. Big change for Miss America. Former winner Gretchen Carlson, who led the charge against sexual harassment at Fox News, has been chosen to chair the pageant after its own harassment scandal, becoming the first Miss America to lead the organization. ABC's Lindsay Davis here with the story. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. I can't sing, so I'll spare you. But here she is, Miss America's new chairman, former Fox News anchor Gretchen Carlson. In 1989, she was crowned Miss America. This morning, she not only has a new crown, she's also making history. For the first time ever, a woman is in charge of the Miss America organization.
Miss America is Gretchen Carlson.
Former Fox News anchor and Miss America 1989, Gretchen Carlson, confirmed her new role with this tweet, saying, "Honored to move this iconic program forward with so many amazing volunteers." The historic new role for Carlson comes on the heels of former CEO Sam Haskell's resignation over leaked emails exposing alleged crude, sexist, and derogatory comments about contestants and winners. The fallout for the 96-year-old pageant has been significant, with several key board members resigning as well. 2013 Miss America Mallory Hagan, targeted by Haskell for her weight and love life, spoke out on Good Morning America.
So I really think that this is an opportunity to see how women can come together, support each other, rise up, take over the things that they want to see happen, and move forward.
In an open letter, 50 former winners spoke out about the culture of abuse at Miss America and demanded that Haskell step down. Carlson is no stranger to this culture of abuse, saying she experienced it firsthand at Fox News.
You fear you're not going to be believed, you're going to lose your job.
Well, before the hashtag #MeToo movement, Carlson went public famously about allegations of sexual harassment at Fox News and later settled a lawsuit for $20 million against then Fox News CEO Roger Ailes. In addition to Carlson's new title, 3 former Miss Americas are now joining the board. So quite a makeover from top to bottom there.
Smart choice.
Yep.
Thanks, Lindsay.
And did you see this stunning start to the new year? All you had to do was look up. The biggest, brightest supermoon we're going to see this year just lit up the sky all around the world. It's called a wolf moon. It has many names, but wolf moon is one of them. It's a name Native Americans gave the January full moon because wolves were often heard howling with hunger this time of year.
And at that moon.
But it does have a lot of different names, doesn't it, Ginger? And it's even getting colder.
And even colder. Can you imagine? Especially if you're one of the crazy folks that do the polar plunges, because those have been going on. At Coney Island, temperature was in the teens, but it was sub-zero wind chills for parts of the day. After that coastal storm, guys, even colder Friday into Saturday through the Northeast and Midwest. Tuesday Trivia now brought to you by Downey.
Used to first dates. You look amazing.
And you look amazingly comfortable.
When your V-neck looks more like a U-neck, that's when you know it's half-washed. Add Downey to keep your collars from stretching. Unlike detergent alone, Downey conditions to smooth and strengthen fibers. So next time, don't half-wash it. Downey, and it's done. Proud partner of the Olympic Winter Games.
Well, it's going to be dry today, but dangerous cold continues to be the story. Once again, we're going to see a single-digit readings on wind chill temperatures this morning, and then we'll get into the teens later on this afternoon. And while there's going to be a brief warm-up tomorrow, it's another Arctic wave that comes for the weekend. 27 degrees, the high temperature today, a little breezy at times. We'll hit 33 tomorrow, and then a little bit of a light snow, mainly east of I-95 for Thursday morning. Could make for some slick spots, but look at the weekend, 17 to 27, a little better on Sunday.
Coming up here on GMA, how Hollywood's top stars are teaming up to help women from every background fight sexual harassment at work behind the powerful new Time's Up movement.
And a parenting alert about one of the most popular YouTube stars kids watch. Jake Paul posted a video overnight that has sparked a lot of outrage. It's all over the world.
We started designing pop-up cards in our basement.
What's cool is, today, we have 400 people working across the globe. With Office 365,